Tato. I just wanted to ask because I am gonna roll up.
Welcome, 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 everyone.
Yeah.
So I probably was muted earlier on, but honestly, that was for the best. Took a little while to get the cameras ready. Sometimes, I know there's a smoother way to do this, but hopefully that's in the next coming months when we invest in some production in the background, so that it just makes this process a little easier. But
Or
yeah,
y'all can
man.
tap into our inquiries. Contact us on the 80th Productions at Gmail if you would like to be a part of our production team.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it would be
Imagine
nice.
that.
Well, because no, I mean, listen, if anybody, I would love, because then that's less things I would pay attention to myself, and then I could
A
just,
thousand.
just stay in conversation and talk, you know.
For sure, for sure.
Um,
They can also help us out because, shout out to y'all. Y'all know that we be doing, we're on, right, Lava?
yeah, we love, we
Yeah,
love.
yeah. God bless, God bless. So, they know that we do this and music. And shout out to the fact, it's raining out here in New York City. We
Yeah.
was gonna link up and make some music, but we felt
Mm,
to ourselves that maybe we should keep it, not have to travel and all of that. And I'm dying. I really wish, like, in my brain, I was like, it's a dream to be able to like collaborate with you or almost anybody, but with
mm.
you to start, like to actually be here and then you there, and it's like, oh yeah, listen to this. I'm gonna add this.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's definitely
You
ways to
know,
do that. There's definitely ways to do that.
I want to do that, man. I don't know how to do that without all the
It,
complications of
yeah,
lag
yeah, yeah,
time and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. We're definitely gonna have to figure that one through. But I've seen, I guess, yeah, we could research, because I'm sure other people have done it live. So we would just have to see how they've done it. See if
Hmm.
with the setups we have in our places, can we make it happen? I mean, I'm sure there's a way. Like I said.
Yeah,
Um.
for sure. And if it's investment, then I got to do that. I'm down for that.
Uh,
Because that's what I was thinking about when Copy was saying I asked for help
mm-hmm,
when we was doing the live and everything. That's why I
mm-hmm.
hit you up with that. You know what? I need to ask Albie for help, bro.
Mm-hmm.
My man always got some new technology or something. I need to. And I
Seven seven.
know even when you don't have good experience with technology, you went through that. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I need his experience. Like I don't
Oh yeah.
right now where I'm at, bro, is like, I bought the hard drive, but for some
Nice.
I thought that was gonna solve it. I got the hard drive in North Carolina and it was only like half what I'm saying? It was only half the solution because it's cool to get the information on there, but I'm like, dang, I barely got another computer too. Like maybe I'm gonna need another computer at some point. I'm trying to hold on to my baby, Fiona.
Fiona.
I'm gonna
uh,
call her Fiona.
nah. I mean, look, it. You would. I think you would always have to try at least figuring out if there's a way to like clear it up, clean it up, and then
That's what I
before
thought. Yeah.
investing. So I
Yeah. So
think
maybe you
the
could
hard
help me
drive
out with
is
that
a
in the
good
future.
first choice, man. I think I would just recommend you moving all the files, and emptying it out so that you could just delete stuff off the computer. First thing is getting that storage back and under control, because
Yeah.
it seems it definitely helps to have clean storage. in your computer and to make it go fast. I mean, in your phone, same thing. You know, if your phone storage is taken up, your phone runs slower. It's just yeah, clear that space and you'll be fine. Yeah. So how you feeling, man? How you know how we do? Always checking
Yeah,
in.
man. Oh
Any
yeah,
final
yeah.
words? Cause
Everybody, pull up your emotions, real guys. Pull up your
um,
emotions, real.
don't even have it. No, that's not it.
I'm feeling.
That's the wrong.
I say,
one.
no, be. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? Like, you know, it's like, what is the most? You know, I love when these moments come because it's like you taking every emotion when you're able to look at the wheel.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And you're being honest with yourself. You don't negate any emotion. You're just like taking it all in, and it's a good tap in, and it's like, all right, oh yeah, I did feel that. I did feel that this week. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
beautiful. But I gotta say right now, bro, I'm always joyous, man, when we click. So love to connection, bro. And you know, it reminds me of the other connections that I had throughout the
Mm.
week. So um, for me, it's been an interesting week where like shout out to one of our old teachers who passed.
Oh yeah,
That I was able
Miss
to go to her
Reed.
funeral home, Miss Reed.
Mhm.
Shout out to Mo Hegan. Shout out to all those just those all those mentors to people. You know, love to her spirit. Love to her son Sherman. And that whole family. Um, it was like I feel like all week I've been having connections occur
Mhm.
where it's like been bittersweet. And but like I try to then take that and sit more on the like bitter sweet, but then sit more right there in the
Mhm.
middle. You
Mhm.
understand?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then make the choice of seeing the sweetness of it all, because I already know what is bitter, right? Because I'll be aware and actually acknowledge it. Bitterness is obviously the loss. The sweetness was the connections, right? I had another friend during I was at work. I was working a concert, and they actually pulled up. They were at the show. Stopped by. I was like, Rob, and I was like, oh shit, and it was Mad Dub, old college friend. And during the conversation of tapping back in, they were just asking like naturally, like, oh, are you still connected with anybody that we talk to? And that was like a bittersweet moment there too, to realize, who I don't talk to, but then also just hold on to the love of like, knowing who was in control and how God had this person come
Mhm.
to connect with them, and being and realizing not just who I'm not connected to, but who I am connected to, and holding on to that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's been like a whole. The week has been a beautiful thing of seeing both sides and being more aware of my power and the love in my heart of being able to keep that in. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say joy
Nice.
is the feeling.
That's beautiful, man. Love to that. Love to that, man. You know.
Yeah. How about you, my brother?
Well, I'm content, man. I'm content. I do have. There is also, I would say, a bit of the gray area, by the way, of just like I like that word disapproving, disapproving.
Mm.
Um, but I think it's just work related stuff, just frustrations I'm having with education. Um, but in terms of how the day went, it wasn't like pretty smooth. I had a good Saturday and then not a good Sunday. You know why, man? But that was bad, bro. That was alcohol. Yeah, be careful when drinking, man. That's how they say that. So anyway, I spent Sunday hungover. It was kind of like I wanted it to be resting, but then it was just yeah. Anyway, it was fun, but I can't complain because the weekend did have some good moments with my siblings, and it was funny. My sister mentioned that I was like, wow, it's the first time I think all of us were like pretty lit at the same time. Because usually like one of us is not, and it's like the other, So um, that was also funny too, and fun. But yeah, man.
Who was the you went to a space where there was live music, right? Was
Hmm.
that a person known?
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
don't know.
Blachi. Blachi. He's the. You might have heard the song. Maybe I don't know. Have you heard it? I could play it here.
Or maybe. Actually, I'm not gonna say I haven't heard it, but
Uh,
I don't know that name.
I hope we don't get shut down. So I'm gonna play a couple seconds of it.
But all rights go to Blackie. Well, maybe you have to say that
Yeah,
right
yeah,
till
yeah. They were sorry with the ads. I don't have the the skip the part. But there you go. Does it look familiar? Oh, the song. Does it sound familiar?
Nah, but that looks familiar. Nah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's a great merengue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I know Hola Perdida. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I was like, I know you heard it before. It was pretty much, yeah. I mean, got how many views? 11 million views. Shout out to him, man. He pulled up
that's
uh
what's up.
to 7 Casa de Mofongo in 207, and that was pretty cool. Yeah.
137K. It's like this guy's new.
I mean, he's not new to the typical scene in that he was the I guess one of the background singers for Giovanni Polanco.
Oh, Giovanni.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So and then he dropped this song, and in terms of and this is a cover song pretty much like to reggaeton, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
And then he came out with some cover songs that took off and people
Oh.
enjoyed them, and then yeah, so he was there in 207. It was pretty cool. I just
Where's he
they
from though? Originally from DR?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Um so it was dope, man. It was good to see live music. He pulled up around actually I guess I got the video. He pulled up.
Around the time where they talk, where you niggas,
Yeah,
no,
well,
no,
he said he's punctual, man. So that's one thing that I and then D went to go see him live recently, and what was like his concert, and what I think he said he comes out at 9, and he came out at 9. She said, and he stressed being punctual as an artist. He likes doing that, and then they said that over here as well, and they were setting up pretty early. I was actually
that's
impressed
pretty
because
interesting. Kylie Minogue was on that 9 as well. Like
look, he got on at
I wonder
9.
if that's the time.
He got on at 9. He got on at 9:19, but I'm sure. So I think he was trying to get on at 9 because the the party was till 12. It said on the flyer. I think door yeah. So it was like
Mm.
from 6:30 to 12. I think.
Oh, you didn't tell me. Oh yeah, bro. I was gonna get there like at 11 something and shit. Yo, it's funny. Your brother told me that at some point they stopped charging, and I'm just laughing at like how God works. Because I will tell you this, bro.
Yo,
So that's the day I'll say
these
this. So
people,
this is what I'm
man,
finding funny,
freaking.
bro,
That's why
about
clubs are
connection.
dying, bro.
Huh? Yeah, of course. But also
It's
like
pricing.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I didn't communicate it because I was like, why? Just go through the motions. Like it's okay. Like
Yeah.
don't focus on it. But during the day I was like checking in, asking myself, like, is this weird, bro? That like you just went to a funeral home. You're going through a lot of emotions,
Yeah,
right?
like
Like, I'm
should I
like,
go party, listen to
what
loud
a
music?
day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's a
you know what I'm
lot, bro.
saying? Like, and then hearing other friends that I communicated with say, like, oh, I was gonna go, but I had to work. And I'm like thinking in my head, like, oh, I had to work too, but I stressed it in, no judgment. I'm just thinking to myself, like, again, like, are you good? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Check
uh,
in, Rob. Like, you
yeah,
good, right? And then just how everything turns out, I don't end up going because for what we were
yeah, yeah, yeah,
communicating
yeah.
and just timing wise and everything. And bro, I get home and I forgot what it was, bro. I sat down and I started bawling from Miss Reed, the idea
Yeah,
of Miss Reed. Like
yeah.
I started crying, and then I after feeling that and letting it go, I was in my head like, wow, like just some things, you just can't, you don't know, like that you
Yeah,
even need. That's the
yeah.
beauty of where I'm at right now, of realizing that and just moving with it because there was no wrong choice. I wasn't ignoring myself. Like I would have gone there and I would have had fun. You know what I'm saying? And also, look, I could have gone there. I could have went for it. Said, fuck it, I'll pay the cover. And then look, RBI's like, yo, they stopped. And I could have, but still, just flowing with
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I just
yeah,
don't
yeah.
end up going, and I end up in a spot releasing an emotion that I didn't know I had. Cause I cried when I was over there. You know what I'm saying? I let it go. I
Mm,
expressed emotions while I was there. It was raining when I left, so
mm-hmm.
I found myself tearing but feeling comfortable because it was raining. Like
Mm-hmm.
thinking like, wow, this is really nice. Like
That's
that.
deep, man.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then look at how this guy took it over and was like, nah, you could go home. And look, it's all good. It's all good. You know, it's just like, whoa. But they ended up stopping the charge, man. That's kind of funny, huh? That's
Yo,
fun. Yeah, that was
fucking
hilarious. And then
club, bro.
RBI meets up with y'all. And I'm like, yo,
Yeah, and I was trying to tell him not to. But he said he's gonna. He made that decision. I was like, nah, it's okay. We're gonna leave. Cause I was trying to go, man. Yo,
duality,
I was
bro. You
so
see,
fun.
one person don't eat. Like, I just love that, bro.
Yo, and then I didn't know I did this, but D was like, "Yo, you came back inside and you put me out. I felt like a little kid, cause she said I did like this. Like I was like we leave it right now." I was like, "Yo, for real, I did that." She's like, "Yeah, I felt like a little kid. Like I'm dancing with some guy, and you just like, nah, we going." We going to her and Ismail like, nah, we out of here, we out of here.
You gotta go right now.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah. Just yo. I was like, I did that? Damn. Well, fuck it.
Albino was the good thing about it is that not
Like,
that you were rude, she just felt like a little kid. Not that you were rude.
no, cause yo, bro. It was a night. It definitely was a night, man. Random shit happening. I was doing
Boy,
pull-ups in the scaffolding. It was raining. Like, yo, bro. I remember bits
you
and
guys,
pieces.
you guys were doing pull-ups in the
No, me.
scaffolding?
I went outside looking for nips, and then you know, I'm outside and then I see some people in the corner, but I'm trying to also communicate with RBI, but there's just people there. So I just start being friendly, like, oh, what's up? Yeah, I was in there, I had a good time, oh, whatever. And then otra y me vino hizo coro, she's talking about stuff, she's talking about doing pull-ups. I'm like, man, I could do pull-ups. She's right. So I do like 5, boom, then she tries to do like 3. Some other guy came and then he did like muscle ups. So I was like, yeah. I was like, you'll D though, because I ain't doing that. That's a lot.
That's what's
And
up.
then some other guy was like, "You don't want me to get on. You don't want me to get on." I was like, "Yo, get on. Go ahead. I'll do 20."
One of those.
Yeah. He's like, "You don't want me to get on." I was
Yeah,
like,
y'all about to get me started.
Yeah. I was like,
It's been a while. Y'all about to get me started now.
I was like, "Go ahead." I was like, "Yo, give him 10. Give him 10.
Nah, y'all don't want it.
Give him 10." I was bugging out.
I hate, yo, them energies be funny, bro. Like I can't say I hate them. I understand them.
I was like, yeah.
I understand them more now.
So I had a good time, man. It was fun.
That's good.
It was
That's
fun. It was
what's up,
fun
man.
because I was gone, but I remember lots of bits and pieces. So I wasn't that gone, but it's bits and pieces, and I'm like, wow, all that happened too.
Yeah, because after we communicated that I wasn't going, you was MIA. I was like, damn, I hope this nigga got home safe.
Sure did. Nah.
Yo, and then you sent me that video, and I'm like, yo, yeah, I hope, yo, y'all take the bottles home. Or is that some payaso shit? Like you just leave the bottles and let niggas drink? Y'all had bottles.
We had to.
Oh, those are two. Because I seen a bunch of bottles, and I was
Yeah.
like, they are not. They gonna drink all that? Oh my god!
Well, sort of. We were sharing. Like we were sharing with some people around us. We met somebody on the line that was pretty cool. It was nice to connect just randomly, and then they came through our table again, and we was like, oh, shots for you, whatever. You know, it was nice. It was cool. Just
Y'all had some
it's
bottles.
it's always a good vibe, you know, when at least you would just meet people with Tulase Coro and everything's all good, you know what I'm saying? And
For
everybody
sure.
you just dancing, everybody dancing, you go home, you know?
This will be the best part for me. The question I have for you: Did you lose anything?
Nah, man.
See that's the best part.
Yeah,
Me, when I'm
yeah.
twisted, you know, just remembering like, damn, yo, where's my hat? Damn, yeah, I don't know my hat is. I lost a watch.
I don't know how to do it sometimes, but I make it home, and then the next day I'm all messed up, but I make it. I make it.
I love to that.
Man,
Okay,
anyway.
Casa de Mofongo, you said?
Yeah. It was cool. I was annoyed with the organizing, man. That really annoyed me. Like, cause there was no reasons to have a whole line like that. They could have organized better. That was really bad. It was raining, you know.
And they let you in for free. I'm sure they didn't plan that.
Well, they didn't. I'm sure they missed me, bro, because they were charging everybody before me and after me, but everything was just so rushed and or disorganized. I got in and I slipped right in, but I'm like,
How they
I'm
miss
not
my
trying to
guy?
play.
My guy with the fresh braids.
Because I walked in there confident, like I already paid, you know. I'm like,
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? I hope
and
that the
then
world is listening.
I walked in there,
Confidence.
just walked in there like I already paid. I'm not going front. That the woman in the front that she tapped me, and I'm like, damn, she gonna ask me to pay, and I'm about to make this awkward.
He's
Cause
already paid.
yeah. But I just looked and
But y'all didn't give me a
and
receipt. I asked y'all for a receipt.
yeah, I'm saying, you feel me? And then she would have came with she just came and gave me the thing, the wrist. I was like, all right, okay, we good.
That's all right. Love to that.
We
Man, that's
good. We
crazy.
good.
Yo, you hear me well, or should I switch over
No,
the
I hear
beat?
you. I hear you. I hear you well.
All
I
right,
hear you well.
gangster,
Yeah, yeah,
gangster.
yeah. As well, as well. So I just did all that, but it was cool, man. Some good moments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, shout out to
Richard.
the live band too. I was just recently watching that.
Oh man, it's always so cool.
Bad Bunny got his Tiny Desk out recently, like 6 hours ago. I think it came out or some
Isn't
shit.
that his second one? I thought he did one before. That's his first one.
Well,
Wow,
possibly the second one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
that's
I
cool.
don't. But I just saw that it's like it just came out a few like a while, not too long ago.
Oh, cool, cool. You know how I've been into, speaking of live music, Yusuf Days.
Sounds familiar.
Man, he's just like he like a jazz, he like composer, artist, um,
Interesting. Why does that sound familiar?
from
Yusuf
London.
Days. Bayez, right? Or ES?
Yusuf, like
And
this.
Yusuf Yusuf.
Why you?
Oh no no
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah, like this. Fire, just super fire, man. So speaking of
Play
live
that.
music,
Play that. We can play it for a few seconds.
uh,
All right, that's it. Ah, that's it. Oh, I get it. I get it.
uh,
Damn, flutes. Yo, Albie, that's so coincidental, bro. This was the first week that I walked the streets listening to. I got a what I called it. I called it like native instrumentation,
mm.
and I was walking the streets listening to like flutes, like sounds like that. Because I didn't get to send it to y'all. I'm gonna send it to y'all because I was on the escalator on 34th from the D train, and I looked down because you could see people like a ramp. You could either take the escalator or a ramp, and I see a man fully laid down, bro, hands like this on the floor, homeless man, I assume, but like just laying on the floor, and that coupled with the flute was just so peaceful. It was like I'm watching this, and then I'm going up the escalator, hearing something else, and I'm like, that man's living his life.
Always.
Yeah, homeless, but I was like, look at that freedom. Sometimes that's a freedom that you would not like. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if
Like,
you call it freedom.
but to each his own, right?
Right.
Perspective.
I
It's a
mean, yeah,
perspective.
so shit.
No, I get it, bro. It's so just it's just a
Yeah.
complex world because
Yeah.
when I'm looking at him, I'm like, that's such an interesting thing that for me, I'm looking at it, and yes, to your point, there are moments where in that circumstance he must not feel free. But for me, I'm looking at a what I was looking at is and what came to me was like, wow, how many of us like want to relax? You know what I'm saying? But we can't just lay the fuck down anywhere the fuck we want. I don't know if he's relaxed, but he looks so relaxed, and he just laid the fuck down wherever the fuck he wants. And I'm thinking of shit like and I Am Legend and all
Mm-hmm.
that when all normalities and societal everything like standards go to shit, and it's just you like, yeah, you'll be able to do that, but why not now? You see how one man could do it now? I just had in my mind like, man, if I just wanted to sit the fuck down, assuming that this spot is clean, would I just sit the fuck down?
Yeah. But not
Yeah,
in the
love to
subway though.
you.
Not
You
in the
would.
subway. Not in the subway though.
Right.
But maybe Central Park, maybe Pelham Bay Park. I'll lay down.
Yeah, I was just asking myself, like, again, remember, like, all of this, like,
Yeah.
man, just freeing
Uh,
these thoughts of
you,
freeing myself.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think you also going back to the moment you had over the weekend is I think most of the times, how often are we also again just allowing ourselves to feel, like that is a heavy day, to go
Yeah,
to a funeral and then try to like go about your
yeah,
day, and
yes,
and it's tough, for anyone, to try to make sense of it and grieving. So I think it worked out the way it had to for you to continue just feeling, because that's heavy. It was heavy, man. Uh, you know,
yeah. You went through a loss yourself, and
yeah.
that day you had to. I mean, you were blessed to have that day with family, right? So it was like we're all on the same page.
Well, yeah, but it's still trying to move on, because
It's
even
still
even
hard.
even well, it's the suddenness of it. I think in my case, the suddenness. If it's
It's,
like
it's,
if it's like having a sick family member, and somebody you're like, okay, they've been sick for a while and they pass away, you kind of start to
for
come to
sure.
terms of it. But to lose somebody suddenly, it's like, yo, I was just talking to you yesterday and now you're gone the next day. It's kind of like, I think that's the hard part about getting over with. So it's still, even spending like 2 weeks out in DR trying to support family who was out there while it happened, and then coming back to try to come back to work, it still was kind of like, yeah, the first week or so was still a little odd, to say the least, just because it's like, yeah, you're trying to work, I'm trying to live this normal life, and yeah, it's still like, yo, was I just in DR right now? Like last week I was just in DR, like I was just,
Yeah, my guy is gone. Like this.
yeah, yeah, and then I have people talking to me, and it's like, and telling me about their problems, like, you're right.
Right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so and then it's like the kids are so, but they it's all, they all try their best. It's like everyone, I'm showing up, so it's like, folks assume because I'm showing up, I'm ready to be there, and I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to be at my place and be myself, and do the things, and it's like, yeah, yeah, because I also put on a face too, right? I mean, right? Like it's like if I'm
Brave.
fine,
They call it a brave face,
I
right? Not
also
a
put on a
mask,
face. I do
but
think
it's a
this,
brave face.
you
But
know, I,
there's
I do think I
similarities.
was being a little vulnerable in the sense of like folks asking me, and I'm not being totally like, nah, I'm good, but nah, I'd be like, nah, I'm not all right. So, I'm hanging in there as much as I can. We here, you
Yeah.
know, try to give the basic the sort of like,
We here.
we here, you
I
know what I
like
mean?
that. That's us.
Like we're
That's a
showing up,
cultural thing. We
but
here.
it's
We
kind
here.
of like, you could tell I'm not good. Like you asking me that question, what just happened to me, like,
It's not like the answer. Living the dream. Living the dream.
you know, we. So it's like you hit them with we here, and I think that yeah. So yeah, I think for anyone, I mean, and it's hard to come by these days. Again, there's a lot of pressures, I'm sure with the economy and everything that's happening
Well,
is getting people, it's been rumors for months now about us heading to another Great Depression, and so I think folks are in it's all challenging, man. It seems all desperate, and so yeah, I think wherever you could take your moments of peace and finding it, I think it's a blessing, man. I think it's a blessing. I mean,
and I will say this too to add on to what you're saying on peace, guys. If you want it, when I say guys, I mean just mean people,
mm,
my like fellow humans, like But if guys and gals, like all people, just like what Albert was saying, like allowing yourself to feel. If you want peace, you choose peace. You know what peace feels like. It's not gonna be easy, but when that's the choice, that you be stubborn with that. Be stubborn with that, and you know what peace is. It's not like you get chaotic when somebody fucks up your peace and then choose and then find peace and then make excuses for that. No, be peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Be
mm-hmm.
peaceful. Choose peace. You know?
Yeah, man.
Because love to you, bro. It all ties in. You do spark it. I don't want to jump right into it, but I will share with you. You do spark a scene from Adolescence into my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and we spoke about that.
Yeah. And
And
I
once
think,
that,
that'll be the main conversation for today, man. So we
love,
definitely
love,
wanted to
love,
get into the show. I know last week we mentioned watching the show, Adolescence. We said we
and
would
we did
watch
our
it.
homework.
We did our homework. Well, you did your homework. I'm still one episode down, but based on your review of it, I've saw enough.
Yes,
Definitely
and
enough to.
also you're
There's
being
a
too hard
lot.
on yourself because we said we watched episode one.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But shout out to you that
Yeah.
you fought. We on the same time. I
Yeah.
finished it. We
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. So I'm
That
I'm
feels
basically there.
good.
Yeah.
That was
So,
good, world. It was good, world.
and it is already off the bat. I want to say definitely, folks. It's you want to watch it. If you definitely, there's some themes there that I think.
But fair trigger warning.
Yeah, fair
It,
trigger
it, it holds
warning.
nothing
It
back.
gets
It
crazy.
holds nothing back.
And so before we get into Adolescence, I do want to give a shout out real quick to the fact that it is sexual assault, because we're talking about this, and
Love,
this theme is covered in this film, this limited series on Netflix. It is covered.
yes,
There
yes,
is discussions on sexual assault, and April happens to be Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So want to give acknowledge and recognition to this difficult topic, but the efforts that there are out there to just raise awareness and hope and continue to find solutions to helping folks who've been impacted by it, whether committing the acts or whether being on the other side of sexual assault as survivors. So the National Sexual Violence Resource Center has a bunch of information on campaigns that are going on around the city. There's even a tab there to revisit the history of sexual assault awareness. So you may be asking yourself, what the heck is that? I didn't even know that. And so there's a good page over here with the history on it. So I check it out. Especially if you have a lot of questions, and if you're somebody who's like, a dude that's annoyed and like, why we gotta talk about this, and I think get educated, man. At the very least, you could do is look at it. You even if you have a hard time agreeing and you feel like it's all women lying, like it's still important to educate yourself as much as you can on what's even happening and how awareness is even being brought to the conversation. So you would do yourself a favor, even if you were in that bucket of like women are lying and women just want to get you in trouble and locked up in court and lie when they sexually assaulted, or victims are always lying. Like just educate yourself.
I do need to sub like add on to that, brother, because that narrative of that voice in your head telling you that they're lying is just a divisive one, and it's not about, you know what I'm saying, like I would stress that, you know, here we trying to build men who, you know, you use your strength to unite, hold something together, not pull it apart. You feel me? Like that's what we're trying to do here, and
that's the line they're going with this year with, you know, the theme "Together We Act, United We Change."
Amen.
United We Change.
So look at that. So, and also, man, when I shared my own personal story with sexual, you know, with assault, I had women come to me thanking me because they too wanted to share one day and be strong on the, in their words, they wanted to have the strength to share their story. So let's not have that kind of insensitivity to women sharing their stories, saying that they're liars, because there are many women who wish they could tell their truth. You know what I mean? Like,
and
if they're lying about being victims, I don't even see the harm in being there for them. Even if they were lying about being victimized, what is the harm of you being there for them? You understand? Like, you will be there for them and many others who are telling the truth. The problem are the people who are committing the act.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well said.
Love. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I think that it's cool that they do this lovely theme for the week. I know we didn't get to discuss this last week because we got on and we discussed other stuff, but there's you know, cool themes of the week that helps guide folks into like springs people to action. This is all about just bringing people to action. Again, giving you a start if you don't know where to start. This week is learn, act, change, establish a shared understanding of what sexual violence, its impact, and actionable steps toward prevention. So that's a theme of the week presented by, again, the National Sexual Violence Resource Center. And again, this is just, as you see here, it says in response, just 5 weekly themes to help focus your efforts and emphasize a core message, right, of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, right? So I think there's a lot to consider here. And again, just a beautiful, you know, I think theme to start with. But yeah, we're gonna shout out to that.
Let's put that website on the. Sorry to cut you off. I just want to say, let's put that website on the
description.
Yeah. Thank you. Love.
Yeah, gotcha. Definitely will. But yeah, so then at that point, with that being said, so going back to our lovely show,
Adolescence.
Adolescence. Let me see. How can I hit this? Is there a
Okay.
Oh, there you go. That's the page I'm trying to look for. So this is where I'm trying to be at right here. This is where we at. Adolescence. Again on Netflix, right? This is from IMDb. Should I play the trailer? Oh, I don't think I played it last week, did I?
Yeah, as long as they don't.
I don't think. Not for a trailer, because but the music we might have to edit the live and then so they could leave it up. But I think.
Oh,
yeah. But we're probably gonna get copyright strike, and then just gotta take care of it. Okay.
Sometimes they A-okay it.
What are you looking for? You're making a big mistake. He's only a kid.
Dad, I haven't done anything.
He's a good kid. Jamie, I want you to listen carefully.
What's going on?
I'm going to start off with asking you.
Do you know a girl called Katie Leonard? Yeah? Describe each other as friends, then.
Is she dead, then?
Why would you ask her?
So do you think it would be okay if we speak about it? I haven't done anything. You're a good dad, a great dad.
He hasn't been found guilty. He's been accused.
kill you, sausage.
You're not getting it.
What am I not getting?
Dad, you're not reading what they're doing. It's a call to action by the Manosphere. 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. You must trick them because you'll never get them in a normal way.
We've done nothing wrong, have we? Hey!
What the hell's going on? Camera's acting up. What the?
Look at me now!
It's crazy what your brain tells you to do when you're a kid.
The power of film is connection.
Bueno.
All right, that was heavy as shit. Yo,
You
but
know,
something.
I've never
Oh,
seen
there's
the-
a
I've
little bit
never
of Mayday
seen
with my
the,
camera,
trailer
Rob. You never seen the
until
trailer?
now.
You never seen the
And
trailer?
Just as I always freaking predicted, man. They give you the whole movie.
You think so? Yo. Oh man,
They
I'm on
do
my
that. They
acting up.
give you the whole movie.
Oh wow.
Yo, Al, you there? My mic acting. No doubt. I was having some technical difficulties, but love, like, guys, while we wait for
Yo, this is crazy.
I don't feel like I could ruin this for you. Like, I will let you know that was everything. There are little details, like, more to watch, but they pretty much, showed you everything. You see how that little boy was talking to her at the end? Well, listen, once that scene came about, I'm like,
Damn, that's the shit. Cause I want you to
I'm gonna
hear
have
me.
my boy like talk to a woman like that. Like, you never know if your son is guilty or not just because he's in the circumstance he's in. So love to the little part where they show, my son's been accused. He's not guilty. He's been accused. You're right. Once my little boy started talking like that, I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yo. Can you hear me now?
Like, we need you to
Yo.
talk like that. And we already had our episode on this. So shout out to that. Hit up on our YouTube
Yo.
the 88 Productions YouTube page, because we did, I think, the Manosphere. We did touch upon this. Andrew Tate. And I suppose that's
Yo.
conversation.
Yo.
For me, it's like,
Yo. I don't know what's going on. Rob. I have to go back.
Children, we're to blame. Yo, my God.
Yo.
Hey, there he is.
Bro, I don't know what the hell was that. I was trying to figure it out this whole time.
It's weird. So all you did was just sign off and sign back on, and it works?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's hilarious. What?
Haven't like ruining the whole thing. I'm like, what is going on?
Could you hear me though when I was speaking?
Yeah. I was hearing everything you said.
So
I was hearing everything you
love.
said. Everything got saved, so you good.
Also love, yeah, man. So piggyback, because I was just saying how I suppose the only right the trailer ruined it. Gave everything away. I didn't see the trailer. Yeah, man. You don't think so? There's details, Al, but come on. Listen, I was saying that once that kid was yelling, that's the scene for me. So you know, for me, that scene and seeing him react that way, it told me, okay, this kid did something. If not, he didn't do what they accused him of doing. He did something.
Okay.
Right? And then as you get the details, yeah, sure, you make up your conclusion. But I asked myself, is that even the point, right? Or is the conversation, I suppose, like, who do you hold accountable also, right? Because yes, he did. If he did something, did not, right? And then you mentioned the Manosphere, because we discussed the Manosphere.
And they bring it up, and it's discussed really quickly, in a way.
Quickly, right? And everyone's left to just pick up the pieces. So I said, but I guess the only conversation would be, right, children and how easily they're influenced, and how much do you really demonize children and not who they're idolizing, You feel me? Like, I mean, but again, to each his own is tough, man. Because it's us as men ourselves, right? Well, let's answer for this, right? I've seen things, I've made bad choices, but when I self-reflect, I know I will change. I don't blame
Yeah.
anything else besides myself, and know there are things that I can change that should. I'm not. They won't guarantee I won't go through this experience again because I have to, you know, learn from the experience, right? Don't fight it. It's not
Right.
about like, I never want to go through this. Like, no, of course not. But learn something from it. Don't hide from it. Um, hope yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's an interesting film, so limited series so far. Like, yeah, it's to your point, right? It's very focused on children, and maybe that is, I think, uh the whole point of it, right? To kind of like really address how serious the issue is. So I do think there are parts that are like definitely over exaggerated for film in a way.
the best friend.
Like the best friend part. I thought it was interesting. Um, when all right, so spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it. We're definitely gonna talk some details because yeah. Anyway,
Word.
what else is there to do?
Spoiler.
Yeah. So one, I mean, like remember one of the friends, the best friend to the girl, Katie, Jade. I thought that part was interesting. Just how she, again, to your point, right, is like, what's the focus here? We know there's a murder. You got it on film. Like, what are you asking me some questions for? Like, what do you need me for if you got it on film? Like, just do your job. Like, what are you trying to answer? So in some ways, I thought that was pretty powerful because then it's like sometimes these things happen, the answers are right in front of our faces, and we still want to ask more questions. And it's like, and then these more questions aren't helping us get closer to a solution. And so I thought I was like, wow. So I was like, are they gonna show what he did? And they showed the video, right? And I'm like, oh, I mean, like, how did you know what I'm saying? And if unless that's not him, right?
Right. But then we get to who was it? Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy's the one who ran away.
Yeah, when they try to
We
ask him
get
questions, when he tried to
we
ask him more
get to,
questions.
and he's guilty too because he gave him
Yeah.
the weapon.
Yeah.
That's it. Spoilers crazy. That's it. It's over for y'all. If y'all didn't fast forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he gave him the weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he, this was a tough show because it was like, yo, this is high. Like, these people need therapy, bro. This is mental games out the wazoo is crazy. But it's funny because, love to also everything under the light, bro. Nothing new. Like, you see, like, it was clear as day, but you just have to know how to approach it, and you have to approach it. It's clear as day. You can't hide actions.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of loved about it too. Where I'm like, well, then I asked myself, hold on, how much of this is real? Because like this all happened out in the open. And like, what's up? What we doing to take care of this? Like, is this all real, or like you said, or is it exaggerated? Like, I hope the best friend got some love and some counseling or something like that. Like something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happens. Like, what do we do for the kids? That's what my question was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did that kid really run out the fucking window? Right? Did you actually really talk to him and then he ignored you and walked away and said, I gotta go now? Okay. And then just left after getting punched and saying, what the fuck did you do to my friend? Like, yo, come on, bro.
Because she knew something, yeah.
I'm like, and then no wonder the son's like, yo, it's kind of embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah. So what another theme that I think came up, which is interesting, is the adults not being in the know, right? Like they didn't spend too much time. You could miss that really quickly. But there's a scene there where even the police officers, the adults, they're asking and interviewing several students of the school, where one of the main characters, Jamie, goes to, and. People they're asking questions and finding out even stuff. They're finding out about the meaning of emojis, to like what is the manosphere, to the red pill.
I learned I was
red pill talk, blue pill talk, and and really like being like, this is not for, even the teacher, right? Like there was a point where the teacher also said, what is that? Like, and the teacher didn't know, and there was one of the other officers that did know at least like some terms. But like most of the adults are still like, what is this? And this is information that if you've been on the internet for at least the last 5 years, you and like this content likely crossed your timeline, and you paid attention to it, and you've heard of it, and then the stuff, the red pill talk, the blue pill talk, like that's kind of the internet I've probably been put onto since before COVID. So
Yeah, but remember, I'm not gonna lie though, I was out the loop crazy.
yeah,
Remember, really didn't know, bro. So that's, I
nah.
mean, I'm not.
Well, because
I've
that's the
seen
thing.
him.
Here's
I've
another.
seen him, but it's a one thing to see him and be interested and then go. Like that's what I've been fighting for a while already. So by the time Andrew Tate came around, I was already like, I see you a lot, but I'm not interested. Like, so I'm not gonna click. Like it's like wrestling. I see a lot of wrestling shit. I could think that Rey Mysterio's son is popping right now, but I don't even remember his name. I know is it? I think it's Dom.
I haven't been keeping up, to be quite honest.
You know what I'm saying? But I know Rey Mysterio. See, look, even you were, and you was a fan.
Yeah.
You know.
Which randomly though, WCW and certain wrestling channels are now live streaming old matches on YouTube, so you can check sometimes if you like nostalgic and old wrestling. Some of that stuff is available for free.
Nice on YouTube. Fire.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff, and then I think we could curate our own bubbles, because you and I have been on the internet for a while, since before at the very beginning of social media, so and to see how it evolved. But we've been able to create our own bubbles in some ways, because again, we're no longer the youth, so our internet doesn't reflect really, and doesn't have to reflect what the youth see. Only if you seek out for it. And of course, obviously, me being in my line of work, like it's stuff that I had to be searching for. So that's how I eventually, learned about these themes and stuff like that. I mean, the emoji stuff, the different colors meaning different things, that I didn't know. That's new to me too. So there's some stuff there I was like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. But that was huge. That's a huge part, I think, of that they highlighted, is just the fact that adults, and especially to me, what stood out is like, remember, this is a school. This is a school where these
just one out of many. And then one in, like, where was it again?
Because somewhere in London, and I don't know. They were saying the place they're supposed to be based in,
they
but
had uniform and everything.
Yeah,
Imagine the public schools in New York City, and right now I'm like, yo, you bugging? Yo, bro,
it's bad. It's bad. That's why, so you watching that? That's what I'm saying. Some environments are kind of like reflect that in its own way. It's not, picture New York in that way. Like, sometimes from the students having no, I think what does. And the movie, maybe some people might not believe it's true, but I think that's been happening for a while. I think students of this day and age have less empathy for the things that they're seeing around them. So in the show, there's a couple of instances where some jokes are being said, like straight in front of the adults, like jokes that you would think like, yo, you would make that joke in front of an adult, and it's like, yeah, I think the youth of today are going to make jokes and nasty jokes in front of adults that, like, I don't think people of our generation would have never imagined.
Yeah, they must have just not experienced it, because I've seen it. I just don't know where the people are right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because there were very few people. Like, you sure there were students when we were growing up, I recall, that would get pretty disrespectful with staff, but those were like
hell yeah.
One or two, maybe 3, 4.
But
like,
the
it was a
thing
few.
is that
it was a few.
That's why that's why we are who we are, because that's why my father would always say, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
So it was about kind of just knowing who you keep around you. Like in school, you have everybody around you, but you're gonna see who's gonna go through problems. It's clear as day.
So that school part is a big theme for me, like how they handle that the school, finding out how the school even figures out how to have discussions around what happened in their school community. And if you notice, they're at a loss. They're at a loss. They're like,
bro, the history teacher, big clue. The kid said his subject was history, but here come the history teacher, not even on time on that day, and then saying that, like, what does he know about them? Like, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't really speak.
You peeped that?
Yeah, and I was like, but yeah, his favorite
subject. And you're like, I don't even talk.
Full of shit. And that makes sense then. See, there's more for you to watch that I'm not going to give up.
Okay.
Because it's at the last episode where this whole topic of the adults not being, the parents actually, express themselves and get more vulnerable. Because they were being reflective. That's where that little moment was, actually, where she was like, you're a good dad.
Oh.
That's actually towards the end. That's on that last episode.
On 3? At the end of 3?
4.
Oh, 4. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't see that part,
No,
right?
I didn't see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
because
up to 4. Yeah, I'm up to
I
4.
believe that's on 4,
Okay.
where they have a moment where they just, I believe they finally get into the room because they were not avoiding the room. And
Uh,
they're vulnerable and they talk about just, they kind of reflect on how they were there and they remember him. And it was like, going straight to his room. And like, they was like, yeah, but you can't predict this. Like, everybody's like that, you know what I mean? Like, you know?
yeah.
So
Well,
that was interesting.
is there more that I'm gonna find out about the murder weapon though? Because I thought that part was interesting, like just the need to find the murder weapon. But I'm like, you got him on video. I mean, unless he was hitting her with punches, you could pretty much deduce that like he clearly had a knife on him.
Yeah, no, there's no more you find out. There's no more you find out.
You know, I thought that part was interesting because it seemed to be like a need for it, and then I'm like, wait, but isn't the video evidence enough doesn't that give them enough evidence?
Yeah. Yeah, all of it was enough. These things just got to go to trial because they're fighting it. You know what I'm saying? But it's clear that he's guilty. And all right, now we need a jury to be like, yo, isn't it clear? I don't have the murder weapon. Sorry, but yo, she's gone. Here's the tape. This is where you come into play. Like, you know what I
And
mean?
his
I'm
only
like,
words is, "I don't remember what happened that night," and I don't really like,
he say he ain't doing nothing.
yeah,
Like, he say he ain't doing anything, bro. But then but it's that anger inside, man. That's like, that's just when man. That's like when you gotta like, you got
well,
something inside you gotta
yeah,
heal. And that's why I was just thought about like, man, the kid needs healing. So what happened? Then I'm asking myself, what happened? You know? And there was a little bit, couple scenes where the kid was being bullied. Um, so I was like, all right, but like, damn, murder though, like, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody. There were more kids still being bullied. Like they didn't,
and
as
they
you
didn't
see,
go on to the yep, yeah,
they didn't do that. At least, God forbid, not yet. Like,
uh,
hopefully not, but it's not a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like even not like everybody. I've experienced once a bully. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it happens. Like so.
But
Once he showed that kind of that when the movie, that's why I say they ruined it because they showed the scene where he turned up on her and he
yeah,
was saying, "Look at me," like on some Joker shit. Like I'm like, oh, he flipped. Where's the I didn't do anything, kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, so they already show that he has another side to
side to
him
him, yep.
that's it was very dangerous.
So I,
Now it's like getting to know that side. I was like, all right, what's that side? Like,
and I thought I wondered if in that scene they wrote it in a way to also um dig into like his views on women, because if there was a lot of questions about asking him about like what does he feel about women, what does he
because
like about women,
they had
right?
that chat, they had that chat,
Yeah,
his online chat with somebody, I don't know who it
yeah.
was.
And I thought that was interesting how and then what was he saying to her? Look at me, and like very much like you're the woman, I'm the man, and like him standing over her even, and like trying, I was like, it's very like the
They even showed that he flexed on her, she
yeah,
flinched. Why
yeah.
would you show that on the trailer? Like, why? I'm like, oh man, where's that trailer? Like, what's the purpose of a trailer right now? What is the
Well, I
purpose?
think
I don't
I
get
mean
it.
to still set you up, because I guess you missed the whole dialogue, because the whole scene, again, there's a lot to it. So even if you kind of give away whether he did it or not, because I
Yeah,
mean once they showed the video, I kind of like, okay, unless there's some like
hell
random
yeah,
thing that happened, he did it basically. So now you're just watching how does
right,
this play out. So I
right.
do think his reaction is interesting. Look, because I'll tell you, man, I can see why it was brought up in this coalition group that I'm a part of, that they do like abusive partner work, and it was brought up recently that like this film, this limited series, we should watch it, because again, I think working with men, or at least yeah, well, I could speak for myself, like working with men, or I guess in abusive partners in general, like those who are on the more highly dangerous, because there's a spectrum of abusive partners. You got the people, yeah, there's a spectrum. Not all abusive partners are gonna function the same
Can you
way.
pull up? Is there like a, you think maybe a diagram?
I mean, I could probably go back to it. It's not a one I could find easily, but there's a spectrum basically. I mean, we used to. There's like to put it very kind of basic. There's the low violent, moderately violent, and then there's like the highly violent abuse spectrum, right? The highly violent are those that are at the patterns of control where now like they will seriously injure their partners or kill them. Moderately violent would be like some physical abuse, likely a lot of emotional. Low violent is the emotional. If there's physical, it's very low physical acts of violence, but a lot of it is the verbal, the financial abuse. Um, yeah, so working with like men who are like on the highly violent side, at least even from my experience, that's kind of like some of the behaviors that you kind of see. It's the very soft spoken, very like I didn't do it, and then they'll flip, and then, but not only flip, but then there's like actual footage of you choking somebody out, like, and you're still saying I didn't do that. Like, there's footage, there's marks, there's like video, like your some of them were fathers, and it'll be like your kids saw it. So like, were your kids lying? And it's like, yeah. So it's like, wow, you're really gonna ride this belief that you didn't really do anything for a while, huh? So to see him ride that out, even though it's like, even when they show him the video, and it's like, that's you, right? And he ain't say that wasn't him, right? And then they showed the act and everything, him still being like crying at his dad's shoulder on
No,
some,
that's
I
when
didn't
he
do anything.
switches, and then
He's
he's
like, I
like,
didn't do anything, and he's still
"You
crying at his
think you're
dad's
pretty
arm.
smart, don't you?"
Yeah.
And then it's like now he's like on some other. Now he's like trying. That's what, but it's like so obvious. It's
Yeah.
like you can't be. He's not direct. He can't stay in a sentence because
Well,
once he starts feeling cornered, he starts getting. Now he's in control. Then he starts thinking that
well, that's why he's interviewing the psychologist. I'm thinking about the
right.
first episode when the police officers show him the video, and he's still crying. He's still like, I don't know, no comment, I don't know. And they
Yeah.
leave him and his dad alone, and his dad starts crying, and he tries to hug his dad, and his dad is like, like, what do you like. And even then he's still crying to his dad, like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, they just showed a video, and it's you just admitted it was you, and then you said I didn't do anything. Like like how psychologically
So I
gone are
already knew
you
he was.
to with yourself that like
But
you didn't do
remember,
that.
yeah,
And
they.
again, that is a very, like, again, something that you often see in abusive partners, where they will do and commit acts of harm and will swear to like their own like life that they didn't do anything, and they'll ride that lie and that denial to the grave, and it's really a sad, I think, psychological thing to experience, to be like, damn, like, so how can I help you if like all the evidence, and all I just want you to do is just acknowledge it, because we all acknowledge what we're all seeing. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna hurt you. It's like, I just want you to acknowledge it. And even still, it's like, I'm not gonna do it. And I mean, obviously in this case, this kid is on trial, so he's gonna say he didn't do anything. But I'm saying, like, even when they're not on trial, again, working in groups, in group therapy, and it's like you still see this play out. So it's kind of tough, man, but I'm glad that again they were able to show that piece, and hopefully people pick up on that, because
Yo, please finish watching it because it's
yeah,
gonna get tough for you. I
yeah.
want to know what you think about the ending.
Okay.
I really need to know what you think about the ending. Yeah. But I hear you though. I think so. I was trying to jump at also the moment where I felt like I already knew he was full of shit.
Yeah.
Him being so submissive, like, to the questions, kind of red flagged me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, because
to the question of the psychologist.
No, because you reminded me. Oh yeah, there was the moment before
Where
the
he was being questioned.
psychologist
Yeah, he was questioned by the police.
and yeah, so I'm like, yeah, word out. And so then I was like, I did think that he was full of shit when it was like, yo, so can we look through your phone? And then he said, Dad, and he was like, no, and then he was like, no. But see, this is why I be like thinking to myself, like, you a kid always on your phone. What do you got to hide if you didn't do anything? You know what I'm saying? You didn't do anything. Why? Like, I didn't. That was the moment right there where I'm like, he ain't no 7, 8-year-old. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's 14, 15. And I didn't even know he was talking like that. But I do know at that age, you know, right? You know what you're doing on your phone.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you commit expected for a murder, and they already checked your nuts and everything. Matter of fact, I forgot. Now you just
And
reminded me
blood.
about
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
scene.
yeah.
And you went through all of that. Now you're gonna be submissive like that? No, no, don't check my phone. Fuck out of here. Like that right there was the moment where I was like, nah, this kid is. I don't know, but I still had to wait. I still
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
wait
yeah.
because I was like, but I don't know. That moment right there, it just felt funny to me.
Yeah. If you pick up early on, man, and it's very fascinating because again, and I think the actor, what's his name? One
Nah, I did really well. I don't
Yeah,
know what it
yeah.
is. Shout
What's
out
his
to that
homie?
kid.
What's his homie's name? Let me see. Oh no, I went to
I
videos.
don't
How do I
know.
go
And
back?
that father's he been acting for a while.
Yeah.
So shout out to that actor. Yeah, I was happy
The
to see like,
dad.
oh my man. Yeah, the pops.
Yeah. So this is Owen Cooper. Okay, he played Jamie
I
Miller.
think he was in The Departed, the father. Click
Stephen
his shit
Graham.
too so we can see his IMDb there.
Stephen Graham. This.
Yeah, yeah. Owen Parker. Stephen.
He was in No Small Parts. Wait, he was in so he was in what's his name? Boardwalk Empire. That's Boardwalk Empire.
Look at that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah. What else he was on? Known for This Is England, Snatch, Boiling Point, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I don't know.
He was in Venom too. Wow. Boy was acting. Bodies. He was definitely in a couple movies in the last few years, man. Peaky Blinders, which I've heard that show was amazing too, by the way. I should check that show out. But I heard good things about Peaky Blinders.
Cool.
Okay.
Was I wrong about The Departed? Christmas.
When he was in The Irishman.
Mm.
Well, when was The Departed? The Departed was a minute ago, right? 2006 or something?
Maybe. I don't even know. Nah, but looky there. Yeah, he wasn't in that thing.
He was in Gangs of New York. That was a pretty big film too.
Word.
Yeah, no, he's been man's been putting in work since 1990 something. 1997.
Been working.
Boy, 1991. Wow, he got a deep resume. 1990. Boy, been in Hollywood for a minute.
Hellboy.
He was in Hellboy. He was a voice.
Rocket Man. Oh, he was the father.
Dick James.
Yeah.
All right. Look at him. Okay. So yeah, man. And then they got Owen Cooper who played that boy. That was again, pretty good job, man. I think he did the best for that kind of
therapy after that.
You know, good question. That's a good question. Well, what doing some acting yourself, man. I think he's got to be affected by this role some way, right? I mean, you got to pretend to have
emotionally, yeah,
right.
But I could never understand. I could never understand how deep. I've never gone that deep where psychologically it fucked with me, but emotionally, roles have.
It's heavy.
I've gone deep, yeah.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. Especially when you're being asked to be something that you're not. Like, if he's totally not like that, and he's not gonna murder somebody, having to play one. And then one that could potentially really happen, This is not like, they're asking you to play the Joker here, where you're like, nobody's really gonna be the Joker, even though we know the Joker's case, but like, you get to play like a villain or whatever that you could kind of shake off your head and just say it's a villain, but
that's why I think it tests, and a lot of these actors have committed suicide, because it really challenges you to kind of go through these things that some people have the privilege of taking years to do. Like, and you have to embody somebody's whole life within a few months, and these emotions coupled with your own. Yeah. It's a lot to process.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah. And then again, such a tough role, man. So shout out to Owen Cooper, man, for doing his thing on that, playing the 13-year-old Jamie Miller. And again, how old is he actually? I'm actually quite interested.
Yeah, it looks like an old headshot. That's not recent.
How old is our boy?
Is that recent?
He was born in 2009. That would make him 6. I can't even do the math right now. Well, 10 years would be 2019. Oh, he's like 17 years old. Hell no. What? He's 17 years old? Right, because
When's his B-Day?
in 20, oh no, he's whoa, my math is way off. Because in 2029 he would be 20 years old. So he's
He's 16. He's
16,
gonna be
16.
17.
Gonna be 17. I mean, so he was 16 playing the damn, but still 16. At 16 years old, I could not play 13-year-old me.
Yeah, I had to already shave.
Yeah, yeah. My boy will be
Already had to
shaving every
shave.
day to keep. Look, my boy look mad young. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cause geez, to be 16, I have
And
to play 13 year.
she wasn't no teen either. Because the way she swung
Oh,
before that. You should
oh,
look her up.
oh, Jade.
Let's see how old Jade is. Because that was
Yeah. Nah, Jade could
that was a
easily be a
professional
20-year
swing,
old.
Jade. You couldn't hide that swing.
Yeah, she might be 20 years old actually.
Figure that out.
What would her character be? Oh, they don't even have her here. All casted. Damn, she wasn't a big character, I guess.
Fucked up.
No, they did all shorty dirty.
Who's you?
Damn, she don't even get mentioned in the top. I gotta click extra pages. Why would they do Jade like that?
The best friend like that is fucked up. Fatima Bojan. I love that name, Fatima. That's nice. All right, what's that name? Was they no B-Day?
Nope.
No B-Day. I respect them.
No.
She's like, it's my first movie. Sure, I'm putting my business out there.
Hey, nah, she
My
did her
first
thing
movie, they
too.
got no my B-Day and
Yeah,
everything.
she did her thing. She did her thing.
Yeah, she did.
She did her thing. Listen, now this is again interesting show, man. It definitely gave me the vibes of like the was that something hunters, like Netflix had a show where they were like interviewing serial killers.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Damn, what was it? But
I know about 30 Days In. But that's about
What
the
was that?
fuck I've gone into. 30 Days In?
Mm.
You never heard of that? Oh shit! They put somebody in holding cells. They put like an actor in there, and I don't know really much besides that. Like I think the gist is like to see how long you can be in there, and it's like they're videotaping it.
Oh, okay. Damn, I don't know.
But people think but they don't know if you're an actor or not. Like I don't think the people in there know that you're an actor, or so they say.
Okay. Yeah, it's called Mindhunter though. Rob is Mindhunter. It was based on the FBI's elite serial crime unit, which did criminal profiling on like serial killers. So in the show, based on that true story, is you see them interviewing certain people.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and trying to get into the develop a profile on these people and why they were doing what they did. So. Yeah, Mindhunter. They should still have it. It's on Netflix. But anyway, it gave me that vibe because, interviewing this kid who did this, heinous thing, and you're trying to get inside his mind, and so.
Right. Why did he do what
Why
he
did he
did?
do what he did? Yeah. Which it gets tough, and we won't know. So. Anyway, Rob, it is 10:30, man. So I'm trying to. I know we can
that's
go
a good
for
place
longer.
to leave it because I would like to ask Felix too, like. Because Felix watched this, so we could all talk about. I want to piggyback on that. Why we think what he did? Like, why did he do what he did? What he did?
What he did?
Yeah, what am I having a hard time with that? And again, like, do we hold this whole manosphere thing accountable? Andrew Tate, we didn't really tap into that, so we can hold on to that for next week.
Yeah, we definitely can, man. Definitely can. I do want to hold off on one more thing I wanted to show you, which is actually to end off on a good note because we've been talking about a lot of heavy stuff. Yeah. There's this thing, man, that this app, I forgot. I've been meaning to tell you about it. It's called Life, and I was like, I think this is the app you've always wanted, bro. This is it. That's
what I was just talking about.
I think this is the app you. It's like how could they? Where's the trailer for this? But you basically record any sound you want, and it will help make a beat out of whatever it is you're recording. Whatever. You want to record the train? Go ahead, record the train. You want to record you stepping on rain? You can record that. Like, look.
Oh, I could drop change on that.
And then it'll like you. Where's that fucking trailer, man? That is a fire ass trailer.
But now, is it one of those things that when you generate the song through there, like they have the rights and shit? I'm gonna have to be okay
Like
with
what?
it.
Nah, cause my understanding is it's yours. You know, the whatever you come up with.
It's
You know, whatever you come up with. Check it out, man.
Imagine capturing moments anywhere, anytime, and having them automatically transformed into rhythms. Introducing Life by XLN Audio.
That's everything they recorded. The
Step
basketball.
away from overused loops and sample packs, and generate infinite beats with the unique sounds from
That
your
you've
life.
recorded.
Capture moments anywhere, anytime with Life's Field Recorder app, or import your favorite moments from your camera roll.
Oh. Yeah.
Drag and drop audio or video straight onto Life, or capture anything in your DAW with Life's DAW Recorder.
Changing my
Meet
life
your
on
new
live,
Happy
yo.
Accidents machine. Every generated beat.
I was like,
is
yo, I
endlessly
think this is the
feedback
app
with
Rob's been
Life's
talking about that he
AI-powered
would
variation
want.
controls. And if you want granular control, Life lets you dive deep with precise controls and effects for every aspect of your sounds, pattern, and mix. Life by XLN Audio ties seamlessly into your workflow. Sync with your DAW of choice, and if needed, route to individual outs to add your own secret sauce to the mix. When you're done, exporting is a breeze. Drag and drop individual samples, the whole kit, your beat as stems,
Yeah, my phone might be like, you were on
MIDI.
your phone.
Let life be
15
the
hours
creative
more than
spark that
last week.
starts your next track, or that magic rhythmic glue that ties it all together.
Boy, this is a change of life,
Add life
kid.
to your music.
Add life to your
No
music.
pun intended.
Yeah, man. And look, I fuck with Excel. Like, shout outs to that, man. I'm gonna have to give it. That's they, you know, I fuck with them because they have one of the their RC20, man, has been used a lot. It's a great plugin that just adds like cool little textures to any beat or sound you have. A lot of people use it to give it like that old school sounding effect to a lot of their beats. But yeah, man, they created this app and I'm like, yo, this is fire. Like, wow. You want to talk about infinite creativity, because it's true. It's like, and then it helps you because it'll randomize stuff for you. So even if you're lost and you don't know where to start, but you like a sound that you heard, like you mentioned some flutes, you wouldn't know where to start a beat. Well, you just record the flute, chop it up, and then you hit randomize, and then it kind of starts giving you ideas, and then like you could go with it. But it's what you sample. So that's what I'm saying.
No, there's some stuff that actually happened to me, and I record,
You know?
like I screen record. For example, there was shout out to Yaya. She had posted up a video, and she had jumped, and I was like, yo, look, I clipped it, and I said, if you like speed this up, it was just like 2 seconds, and it was like, it's just like and it just made a sound because of her jewelry. I was like, yo, I can make a beat out of this. She said, do it, but it took so much to try to do. I'm thinking of that shit right now, how that could like literally randomize it.
Yes, sir. It's a life. So I think they have it by you could try for free, man. So actually that's probably the best way to go about it. You could do the free trial for like a couple of days. There's a 10-day free trial, which shit, I'm about to jump on it myself now that I'm talking to you about it. And just check it out, man. They have that, and then I don't know how much it costs though.
It said not. Oh, I said what it
it
said.
says $49 or $10 a month.
Which isn't bad, man.
Which isn't bad. $10 a month. If you tell yourself, yeah, like I'm gonna try it for like 2 months.
It depends on what
2 months, $20. You feel me? You figure out what you can make with it in 2 months, and then that's it. And if you like it, you just pay the rest. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, I really fuck with this shit. I'm gonna actually keep it. You know?
My whole thing is too like dedication to the craft. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like invest, man. Invest.
Exactly. But this is fire though, man. When I heard about it, I'm like, man. And then again, you could just take it to the phone. And I think they added an update where you could just like. You can actually work out of your phone now.
Yeah, and I just started paying for more storage space, so it was perfect. On the phone, I seen it was doing that. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, man, it's pretty fire, man.
Makes me
So,
wish that I could get this shit working.
hey,
I
you.
started charging this guy like, yo, maybe you work today.
Oh man.
I got so much fire stuff on this phone, but like, I've been holding off. I don't know how to get it.
Nice. Well, listen, man. I figured
Yeah,
I figured you would love
appreciate
this,
you
man.
for sharing that, man.
Yeah,
Word.
man. I was like, yo, I gotta put Rob onto this. This is. I think this is the one thing that'll speak to you. You know, help you be creative without, also trying to do too much.
Yeah, thanks.
But like I said, we could both try it, man. It's a free trial. We could both sign up, like, figure out how we like it. Like I said, and then if we, see how it helps us.
Yeah, look out for some new content, yeah. Some
life,
music.
for some new life.
Some new life.
Some new life. All right, man.
Word. That is a positive note. Appreciate you for that, my brother.
Yeah.
Love to you.
Hope that inspired you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try that shit as soon as we hang up.
That shit is crazy. But one thing I guess I gotta get clear on is, do you need to use the computer though, or can you like slice the beats on your phone? Because it seems like the phone is a life app, which I guess, yeah, it seems like from what I was reading a little bit, it seems like the app on the phone is just to like record the sounds, but you still have to work out of a computer to then make the beats. I don't think you could do the randomizing thing on your thingy, on your
just your phone.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Which
love.
it's like, neither here nor there, but yeah, that piece I noticed.
We're about to find out.
All right, y'all, man. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. We definitely got into Adolescence. This is part one. Consider this part one of our reaction to Adolescence.
Word.
I guess we could call it a hit TV show. TV show that's been streaming show. I was gonna say TV show, but the hit streaming show. Limited series on Netflix, which folks are watching. So we'll definitely tap into the rest of it. I'm gonna get to the last episode, and finish it by next week. So. Yeah, man. Stay tuned.
That's your homework, and then mine is life app.
Life app, man. You already know.
Love. Shout out to you,
Hegan, man. Shout out to everyone. As always.
Thank you, Mr. Hegan.
Peace out, y'all.
Thank you.